Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, a sports podcast that covers everything controversial sports-wise. I'm your host, TJ, and with me again, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there is no shame in his game because he is always the same.
That's me.
Grumpy, how are you?
Wonderful. Yourself?
Oh, man, I apologize. We're off to a late start. I'll take blame for that one. Hey, I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I couldn't take myself away from the Tennessee Titans game. I couldn't. I mean, the Titans and Seahawks game was a closely hard-fought battle, and I had to watch the end. I apologize.
Here's the thing. You have a job to do. You failed again.
Grumpy candidly letting us know how it is. I understand, Grump. That being said, remember, we have this podcast every single Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every single Sunday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to make sure you don't miss out on any of the action, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter, Grumpy Old Man.
I would assume that everyone does that because the times are fluid. They're known as TJ time.
So that is Grumpy.
And if you have like a notification button put on, then you'll know, oh, okay, they're coming on. Yes, I realize TJ said 8 o'clock and it's, 2 o'clock in the morning now, but that's TJ time.
Is that what it is, Grumpy?
Pretty much.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. There was a lot of sports that happened, a lot of sporting news and a lot of controversial items that happened since our last podcast, Grumpy Old Man. It's funny, Thursday evening, we were podcasting during the Giants game, right? Giants had control of the game almost the entire time. Heineke there, the quarterback for the Washington football team, first win he's ever gotten his NFL career, and the Giants managed to squander and blow the game, Grumpy Old Man.
Yeah. Think about it. When you're a loser team, you find ways to lose. And that's what happened Thursday night for the Giants.
Absolutely.
I mean, and there's the play right there. You had Slayton, wide open. Nobody within 15 yards of the ball, right in his hands, dropped it like Robin Williams in the best of times. Just really, really bad. Ugh.
My goodness gracious, ladies. It was a little overthrown, but Jesus Christ, man. I want you to dive for that freaking ball. And Jones, another thing, right? Let's look at this pocket Jones has. Jones has to step up in the pocket, but he's got the ability to make a clear and concise throw. Even if that ball is underthrown by, let's say, 5 yards, he still is able to backpedal his way into the end zone. And this is the only thing you can't do, which is overthrow the wide receiver from this standpoint, right? I honestly, Grumpy, I remember we got off the podcast live, and then I jumped on. I said, oh, man, the Washington football team, they just scored. They're up, I think it was like 27-23. I'm like, all right, the Giants have no chance. They walked down to the field, or maybe they had that field goal. I cannot believe Dexter Lawrence jumps off sides on that field goal attempt, which cost the Giants too. It's just you're right. It's typical Giants. It's just a loser franchise right there. Yeah. I know they've run 2 Super Bowls in that short time period, but that's what loser franchises do. They find ways to lose.
And here's the thing: he didn't overthrow the guy. It hit him right in the freaking hands. That's what a ball's supposed to do. Is hit a guy right in the hands. He dropped it. And then, my gosh, jumping off sides on, what was it, a 47-yard kick or a 49-yard kick? And, of course, the guy misses. And he's hitting the re-kick. He is. And it cost him the game. Terrible loss.
So, and again, I'm not one to complain about officiating. I'm not. I'll be honest with you, Grumpy Old Man. But I do want to show you this here. I think this is I want to show you this, Grumpy Old Man. It's broken down to slow motion. That he did not. They're trying to say, oh, doesn't look like he jumped off sides. He perfectly timed the snap. But I'm sorry. How the hell are you? Ugh.
Well, here's the whole thing. You have to be across the line for it to be offsides.
I don't think he's offsides, but in the same token, they just didn't like that he got a perfectly timed snap and they called it.
That happened in today's Tampa Bay game. Same thing.
Yeah, you see stuff like blown call. Yeah, sure, maybe, Grumpy Old Man. But did you happen to see I would say the explosive conversation that Daniel Jones and Kenny Galladay had. Did you happen to see that, Grumpy, on the side?
I did not see that.
Oh, now these are the things I like to keep track of, because you talk about a guy, Kenny Galladay, first time with the Giants, new organization. And again, Daniel Jones in a make it or break it type year. And it's funny to see by week 2 already, Grumpy old man, there seems to be sparks flying. And oh man, it doesn't seem to be getting off to a great relationship here between Galladay and Daniel Jones. I'll let you watch this exchange. I assume they're not saying, hey, brother, you're doing an excellent job out there. Keep it up. I'll let you watch it, Grump.
Here, watch. He's yelling. You know what? Where's the coach telling him to shut up and sit down? You know what? Where did Kenny Galladay? Who did he play with?
Galladay played with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. Shut up and sit down, 19. Shut your mouth. You know how many other balls did he drop the other night right in his freaking hands?
Well, he's upset, right? And the thing is, when he joined this team, he thought he was probably going to get more targets, more this, more that. Sterling Shepard, I mean, for the first 2 games, has been getting the lion's share of all the targets, the lion's share of the receptions. And here's what happens. Sometimes you get wide receivers that are prima donnas saying, I want the ball more often. You need to be finding me. I'm wide open. I'm this, I'm that. You need to get me this. And this looks exactly like the situation we're seeing here.
Kenny Galladay is never wide open. He's a contested catch guy. He's always got guys all over him because he doesn't have separation speed. He's a big guy, and he's able to make contested catches. That's his game. So he's not wide open. I'm just going to tell you right now, he's not wide open.
I'm just saying I wasn't expecting to see this sort of friction and this sort of explosion on the sideline in week 2.
Well, you know what, Daniel Jones, he just should have got right back and shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down. That's what he should have said to him. I realize, how many years has Jones been in the league? 3, 4? He's
been in what, 2? No, it's got to be 3.
It's got to be his 4th year, right?
3.
Okay. I would say to him, I'd go up to him.
He split a little bit with Eli Manning last year. Eli was there. He started all of last year and then started all this year, or will be starting all of this year. I think it's been 3 years.
Okay. The whole thing is, he just should have went up to Galladay and said, shut up and sit down. It's my team. Shut up and sit down. That's what he should have said to him. Shut up and sit down. You're the quarterback of the team. You are the leader. He's got a C on his shirt. He's the captain. Shut up and sit down.
Oh man.
Maybe we'll just sit you for the rest of the night. I'm not throwing to you. I'm going to guarantee that. So shut up. Maybe you should learn how to block.
Oh man.
And here's the thing. Daniel Jones was not the problem on Thursday night. I thought he played pretty well.
No, he wasn't the problem on Thursday night. I do find it funny. I think his primetime record is some atrocious, like 1-6 anytime he plays a game in primetime. But I did find this kind of funny on the goal line formation. What the hell? What the hell is the Giants defense looking like right here? Oh my God!
Now, where would you run the ball? Here's the thing.
Possibly here to the left side of the offensive line.
I didn't play professional football, but you got 6 guys?
You have 6 guys in a box with a safety over top, and you happen to have 5 of those. You happen to have 5 of those players in the box from the center over to the right hand side of the offensive line.
One guy on the outside on the left. Oh,
no, my God! You talk about disorganized. You talk about disjointed. You talk about a team that looks like they don't know what the hell's going on. Any type of mistake they can make to shoot themselves in the foot, they will make. It's the New York Giants.
Yeah. And here's the thing. They still should have won that game. Here's one thing I've learned just watching the first 2 weeks this year. Every team is virtually the same. They can have a good week, and then the next week they could look great one week and look garbage the next.
That's, I think that just tells you again how literally any given Sunday, you can lose any given Sunday. I've always believed that, and you see that more and more when you see those type of items, just like as you mentioned, Grumpy.
The suits in the NFL are absolutely in their glory today. Look at how many games came down to the last play or went to overtime. 1-score games. One guy hits a kick to win a game at the end. One guy misses a kick to lose a game at the end. One game goes overtime. These are the 4:00 games. And then you had, even though Tampa Bay looked like they blew out Atlanta, that game was close with 8 minutes to go. It was only a 3-point game. I remember looking, I'm like, this is exactly what the NFL wants, where games are tight, teams that are, everyone's like 8-8. Though they'd love to have every team be 8-8, honestly. So every market could say we're a contender for a Super Bowl championship.
Oh man, Grumpy. I tell you, I don't think you're wrong, but Jesus. There's some issues that I've been noticing too in the NFL. I've been noticing, again, refs. I think they're trying to do their best to do anything they can to make fans pissed off with these stupid, and again, they're enforcing the rules, these stupid, idiotic taunting penalties that we're seeing multiple flags every single game for a taunting penalty. It's one of the dumbest rule changes I think the NFL has ever implemented. Ever, Grumpy.
You know what? I'd like to take, you don't know what the guys are saying. See, that's my issue. You can't hear what they're saying because they're not overtly doing anything, I don't feel. But if they're talking smack to another player, I'm all for flagging them. Shut your mouth and play the game.
Why? Who gives it? Who cares if he's talking smack to another player?
Well, then what's to stop a guy who's getting pissed off because they're getting rolled up on just for going to the guy's knee? Because that's what I would do. You want to talk smack? I'm going to blow out your leg, and then I'll laugh right over the top of you.
Oh, okay. What the hell are you even talking about? Have you ever played a sport? What the hell is that comment even about? Oh, blow your knee because you spoke bad to me. No. What?
I remember Terrell Owens going down, scoring a touchdown when he was with San Francisco. Then he runs out to the Cowboys seat, and he smacks like it's my field, and he got run by George Teague. Good for George Teague.
George Teague sat out the rest of that game because that's what happens when you do something in that regard. I don't care that he did that. You know what you do? You stop freaking Terrell Owens from entering the end zone.
You know how you stop him? You blow his knee out.
Yeah,
he's not a problem anymore.
Pathetic.
Chop block him. Chop him. If it's anywhere near he's a scrum, you chop him.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
there's ways to tell you never played a sport.
There's ways to take people out of games.
Sad. You're sad. I'm just telling you, the taunting penalties are ridiculous. And
I like them.
I
think if you look cross-eyed at a guy, you should get a taunting penalty.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
You think if they breathe too wrong in one direction, if he gives them even like he raises an eyebrow, goes, he should get a taunting penalty? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Grump?
I think if you're taunting the other team, you should get a penalty. Grow up.
Why does it matter?
Grow up. Don't taunt the opponent.
Hold on. Stop. Why does it? Okay, Grumpy. Let's say he's taunting.
It's called sportsmanship. Okay,
Grumpy. What we're seeing though is people being flagged for not actually taunting individuals, which therein lies the issue.
We don't know what they're saying. The referee's right there listening to somebody.
Who cares what he's saying? Have you ever been out there on the field, Grumpy? The answer to that question is no. So who cares what he's saying? Because trust me, you hear anything and you don't really hear that much on the field. Okay? The refs don't have sonar ears out there. They hear a whole bunch of fans. They're not over there saying, hey, I'm about 10, 15 yards away and I can hear what this player is saying as I'm throwing a flag. They can't hear that shit. All they hear is the fans. I can tell you, they're not able to hear that.
Let me put it to you another way. If you're for taunting, I'm against it. So there you go.
You're pathetic. Let's just go ahead and show you a few of these hideous taunting calls. And here's the thing. They're trying to take all emotion out of the sport. This right here was a taunting penalty, Grumpy Old Man. And I'll show it to you. And I think it's ridiculous that this was called a taunting penalty, right? This was right here down towards the end. And I always wonder, are they trying to let Tennessee stay as close as possible into this game, right? It's 23-30. Seattle's up. Tennessee's trying to drive down the field, Grumpy. And this is called a 15-yard taunting penalty. He went ahead and broke up the play. He didn't do anything. He just went, whoa.
Right at him. Right at the guy. He did it right at the guy. He looks right. Well, that's taunting.
No. Why? Okay,
that's taunting.
Why does that matter? Why?
And they should have made it a double taunting penalty. Give him 30. And toss him out of the game.
Why does that matter? Why does it matter that he did that?
I don't think you should try to show up your opponent.
Okay. What do you do? What are you supposed to do, Grumpy, when you do something like that? Again,
turn around the other way.
Okay. You're gonna let me finish my point? I'm not even done. It's an emotional sport. Turn around and walk the other way.
Yeah, you want to
You've never played. You've never played. You don't understand what it's like. You've never
like you want to shake your dick in the guy's face. Just knock it off. Grow up.
You don't understand what it's like. You've never played.
Here's what I think they should do. You taunt somebody, you're out of the league. How about that? That'll stop it. Your little paychecks aren't coming anymore. You want to know how quick that would stop? Like that.
You're pathetic.
You got to keep the children in line. Keep them in line.
You're pathetic. You're absolutely pathetic.
Keep them in line.
Absolutely pathetic. You're grumpy. That's pathetic. My God.
You believe in taunting? I don't.
How was that taunting?
He got right. He was right in the guy's face.
Oh, no. He was 3 yards away from the player. That's not right in his face.
And he went at him and stared at him.
Oh, my God. He's scared.
I don't know what he said, but I got to guarantee he said something he shouldn't have, and you get flagged. That's the way it goes. Knock it off. Knock it off.
Pathetic.
Just stop it.
Grumpy. Well, talking about items that did deserve an ejection, right? You saw Mike Tomlin. I'm not sure if you happen to see this. Mike Tomlin got irate because there were unsportsmanlike penalties exchanged between both of these individuals, Trey Turner and I believe Solomon Thomas. And what we did not see here that the referees did see, Tomlin was losing his mind on the sidelines, and so was Trey Turner. Trey Turner was about to fight the referee because he was claiming his innocence. He was trying to fight these referees out there, trying to do anything he could to get back into their faces, had multiple Steelers players trying to separate them. Now he was not only given a 15-yard, but ejected from the game. And Grumpy, can you take a guess of what he was ejected for?
He was probably ejected for shoving the ref.
No. Okay, stop.
Well, here's the thing. What do you mean stop? What do you mean tell me stop? You just asked me a question.
I'm going to show you the clip.
You just asked me a question.
I said, I want to see if you can see. Oh, my God.
Okay, but this is what happens when you let taunting go on. When you let one guy get another guy's face, you're going to have physical altercations because that's what's going to come down to.
Can you see what he does?
Looks like he
spits on the player.
He spit at him.
So he was ejected. I have no problem at all with that. See that you're not allowed to spit on players. Boom, you should be out. I have no problem with you if you spit on a player. That you're going to take a seat. You're done for the rest of the day. I do not like that players who go or they yell and they scream because they're excited because they made a big tackle or they happen to break up a pass or they caught a huge touchdown pass. I'm not a fan of that.
That's not what they're doing.
Penalty. What?
They're trying to show up the opponent. And here's the thing: what you don't realize is the guys on the other side are human beings too. And if you take it where you're taunting them, they're taunting back. What about the player who wound up throwing a punch at a coach on the sideline? I think I sent you an article on that where a guy threw a punch at a coach on the sideline and got ejected. Why? Because they've been talking smack to one another. Just knock it off. Just stop it. Grow up, please.
Well, this one definitely should have been ejection. But I'll tell you one thing. It's going to be one of those items that are going to get turned back around, Grumpy, because you could just tell the fans don't like it every time. Hey, somebody gets excited about the play they made. They're sitting out for, they're getting a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It stops the game. I mean, I tell you. Ugh.
Oh, well. Knock it off. Grow up. Grow up. Stop trying to belittle your opponent. Stop trying to do it. That's what it's all about. They want to show up the opponent. That's what the whole thing's about. I have no problem getting flagged for it. None whatsoever. Grow up. Pretend like you've been there before.
Oh my God. Jesus.
You want to know who never got taunting penalties?
I could tell you. I could tell your answer was going to be Barry Sanders,
Derrick Henry. You don't see him doing that after he scores. You don't see Russell Wilson doing that. You don't see Mahomes doing it. You don't see Brady doing it. You just see the clowns. They're usually the wide receivers or defensive backs, the clowns who aren't really involved in the game much. Those are the type of guys you see. It's not the guys who actually play. You don't see it with the linemen much, do you? No, it's always the wide receivers.
No. We just saw Trey Turner get kicked from the game from spitting on somebody.
Who knows what transpired? That was a linebacker he was going at, right?
No,
I'm going to guarantee you that the Raider linebacker does something.
You ready for my answer? It was Solomon Thomas, a defensive tackle, not a linebacker, Grump. I was going to answer, but he just kept going.
Okay, so he probably started some shit. And the guy said maybe he was just sweat. Maybe it was just sweat, right?
What are you talking about? That was a very incoherent point, Grumpy.
I didn't see any spit.
Yeah, cool. Eli saying Yankees went from a 96% chance to make the playoffs on September the 4th to 29% today. Wow.
That's what happens when you don't win games and beat teams that are out of the playoff hunt. But here's the thing. The Yankees are a flawed team, right? Let's be honest. No pitching. It's been an issue all year with injuries to the pitching staff, and the team is poorly built. I'm going to say it again. Boone needs to go. Cashman needs to go. They need to really freshen up the front office staff. And Cashman has done a good job. He's been there forever. If George was alive today, Cashman would be gone. That much I can guarantee you. He could not stand watching the Yankees play like they have the last number of years. He couldn't stand it.
Bill Brady says, hi, TJ. And TJ, Grumpy taunts someone, flag him. I was about to say, Grumpy, you seem to taunt people. You do your little dance talking about on our Islanders Never Say Die podcast. Oh, you talk about Josh Bailey. You talk about this. You talk about it. Seems like you're taunting people, Grumpy. That'd be 15-yard penalty.
Here's the thing: if I said that to Josh Bailey's face right in front of him, it would be taunting him. Here, it's not. I just want to tell you what I did today. I just killed myself a mosquito that's been in this house for 4 days, and I have not been able to catch him. He was really dark, and he blends in with the couch, with the legendary couch, and I finally got him right now. So no matter what happens, how much you upset me today, I'm going to be happy because I got that mosquito.
Your old, antiquated, archaic thought process on taunting penalties, Grumpy, is sad. I'm just telling you, here's the thing. They're trying to take emotion out of the game, and I don't like that.
Let them take guns on the field. They get really pissed off. Just shoot the other guy. It's okay.
No, okay. What is the problem?
It escalates.
Hold on, stop.
Because everything escalates.
Okay, because it escalates. I'll be honest with you. I don't care if it escalates. Here's another thing too. I've never been a big supporter of trying to take every single hit and taking the bad roughness out of football. I've never been a fan of it. You hit any quarterback towards the head now. Oh, the bottom of your helmet happened to hit him in the chin there. You know, his face mask. That's an automatic 15-yard penalty. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Guess what? I want the players, quarterbacks who want to hold on to the ball too long, they have to learn. You can't do that. Boom, because you're going to have someone just come and drill you. I'm sorry. I get player safety. I understand it. I'm saying, though, sometimes you see these tackles to the ground. Oh, he tackled him a little too hard. He drove his body down when he was tackling somebody. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just like that. I've never been a big fan of taking the emotion out of the game. I've never been a big fan of changing and altering how football has been for years and years.
Well, guess what? They never let you taunt years ago either.
Well, nobody really wanted to taunt. Okay, yeah. Well, they used to flag anything and everything. And again,
they should. It keeps everybody in line. But here's the thing: why does the NFL call those penalties for hitting quarterbacks? Because the only thing the NFL cares about is keeping that money rolling in. And if you get a bunch of quarterbacks injured, the people don't want to watch because the football is bad. This has been a godsend these first couple of games, these first couple of weeks for the NFL. All the games are close.
Here's my point as well. I've never a big fan of if you tackle a quarterback in the pocket below his knees, automatic 15-yard penalty. Can't be tackling him too low. Can't be tackling him too high. Hey, if a quarterback's throwing the football, you can only tackle him from his mid-thigh up to, maybe up around his chest. Because even then, if you hit him too hard in the upper portion of the chest, that's going to be a penalty too. So you can only tackle quarterbacks from usually their abdomen to their quad. Yeah, that's great. Maybe now we're going to start changing to two-hand touch football. I've always hated that. Just like I've hated them taking the emotion out of the game. Let players do what they do and have a great time while doing it.
Okay. Since the NFL took the choreographed celebrations where they let the teams do that now, do you enjoy watching all the teams run down in the camera in the end zone and pretend they're in rowboats and yanking their helmets off and go, ooh, do all the stuff they do? You enjoy that? I don't.
Okay, well, let me say something. I don't care. I don't care about it. So why does it matter if they do it or don't do it?
Okay, but here's the thing. Some people do care. And you want to know who really cares? The team that's getting shown up on the other side of the field.
Great. You know how you stop that team is getting shown up? You stop the other team from scoring on you.
Like I said, you're going to see guys get hurt and they're going to be complaining. You'll be complaining when your favorite player gets a knee job because he's out there taunting and somebody took a cheap shot at him. It happens. It happens.
Okay, stop. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, who cares what players do when they celebrate? Unless somebody's spitting on somebody, kicking or stepping on somebody after the end of the whistle, I really don't care.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? It's just another extension of the taunt.
Okay, spitting. Okay. Spitting is something completely different, and stepping or kicking somebody after the whistle is physical.
If someone's getting in your face all day and taunting you, and what are you going to do? Let's say you don't have the mental acuity to go back at them like that. You're going to take it out on them physically.
It happens. You want to ask me what I'm going to do? I'm going to make sure I don't get rattled or frazzled, because guess what? I'm a professional at this sport. So hold on, let me finish. If I'm going at and I'm getting, let's say, taunted by a defensive lineman because he just got a sack and he's doing some dance in front of my face, I'm not going to go, hey, like a Luddite and smash him on top of the head. I'm just going to be like, God damn it, I just got my ass beat. I can't. Guess what? I can't let that guy trying to get in my head affect how I'm going to play the rest of the game. It's mental warfare.
I'm going to just tell you again. When you the further you move the bar, the more they take. And then what happens? You're going to see violence coming, but you're going to see it. If you don't stop that, you're going to see it get really bad, because it goes incrementally in steps.
And guess what? When the violence happens, boom, kick him out for the game. And you miss next game. Don't do the violence portion.
Well, don't taunt. How about just, you know what? Stop. Pretend. You say you're a professional. Shut your mouth and just do your job. Then get off the field. You want to go celebrate with your buddies on the sideline? Go right ahead. Don't rub it in the other team's face. It's just bad. It's bad. It's stupid. Anything. It's stupid. So I'm not surprised that you're for it.
Oh, look at you. Look at you go, grumpy old man.
That was easy.
Mr. Sue is good for kicking and stomping after the play. See, like that, I have no problem at all when they toss Ndamukong Suh, because he's got a history of doing that stuff too, where he stomps on players. Hey, let me go ahead. I'm stepping. Oh, I accidentally stepped right on the quarterback's calf. I mean, like that type of stuff. I'm sorry. And he rightfully gets penalized and thrown out of the game for that. I have no problem with him throwing out of the game for that stuff.
Here's the thing. He doesn't do that anymore. You want to know why? Because he's grown up. He's a grown-up man now. He's not a child anymore. You see the children do that. You don't see the adults do it. When was the last time that he was tossed or even got a penalty for, excessive violence after the play? It just doesn't happen anymore because he's grown up. He's an adult now.
Well, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, but he doesn't get those penalties anymore. He used to get them all the time. He was a dirty player. Well, you know what? You want to run your mouth. And like I said, it's always the yappy little defensive backs, the yappy little wide receivers. You want to know why? Because they're barely involved in the actual physicality of the games. That's why they can run their little mouths. I got no problem if somebody breaks their little chicken legs. No problem at all. You want to run your mouth? There you go.
Well, the other positions are, I mean, offensive linemen and defensive linemen, if they're large enough, they're so, I mean, like, for the most part, they're gasping for breath in between every single play, so they can't waste their reserves to talk shit to other players, to be quite frank and honest with you. But let me ask you this too, Grumpy. Now, you talked a little bit about baseball. Now, what do you think the postseason is going to look like, Grump? Because, hey, it's getting close. It's getting close to the MLB postseason time. October, right around the corner, Grumpy old man. I just wanted to get your take. Who is the favorite to win the World Series this year? To win
don't you have to say the Dodgers to repeat, really? I mean, I know San Francisco is playing really, really well. But, man, once you've won, you kind of know what it takes. The Dodgers have really picked up their play the last couple of weeks. And, San Francisco's hung right with them. You're seeing trouble in San Diego, right? Machado was going at it with Tatis. Why? Because the older player is trying to teach the younger player, calm yourself down, slow your roll a little bit. But like I said, that's what the younger players do, right? I mean, Tatis had the same issue early in this year trying to show up the other team after hitting a home run. It's just bad. It's bad. You know what? What happens to somebody? Oh, I threw it to Tatis. Well, the ball just slipped. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That comes with the territory. If you're doing that and somebody throws that, you're going to see bench clearing brawl. You know the crazy thing about it is if, let's just say somebody's celebrating. He's happy. I'm excited. I'm going to do what I want to do. You stop him from celebrating. You strike him out. You
hit him in the head the next time up. That's how you want how they used to take care of it in the old days. You got out of line, you get beamed the next time up. You get hit in the head.
Yeah.
You know what? It kept everybody in line. You never saw pitchers doing anything like that. Why? Because they had to come up and bat. That's what used to happen. They throw at the pitchers.
Well, I want to get back to it because you keep talking about taunting, but I wanted to talk about the MLB, grumpy old man. Now, talk about the Dodgers. I think they are the favorite to win the World Series. That being said, too, imagine, again, like Trevor Bauer's had his issues, but imagine how much better off they would even be if they still had Trevor Bauer also on that organization, too, still playing.
Yeah, but what did they do when they realized that Bauer was potentially not going to be there?
They brought in Max Scherzer.
Who would you rather have?
Why couldn't you have both?
I mean, okay, then who's going to not play? You remember, you get maybe 3 pitchers in the postseason. 3 guys. That's your rotation is 3 guys. So who's going to sit? Because that's what it's going to be. Somebody's going to sit. I don't think they would have made that move for Scherzer if they had Trevor Bauer. He was pitching really well. But what happens? You bring in Scherzer, then you also get Trey Turner with him, and he's helped turn that offense around. That was a good deal for them. The rich getting richer. You know what? They know what they're doing out there in Los Angeles. They just do. Yeah. I don't like the Dodgers, but they know what they're doing. But how many years in a row did it take for them to get there? They finally had to get some guys who had some winning pedigree because they had that loser Kershaw as their number 1. He could never get it done in the playoffs.
Oh, man.
So they had to bring in an established veteran to show them how to win in the playoffs.
What a film said, I agree with Grumpy. Act like you've been there before.
Thank you, Woody.
Here's the thing. If I'm saying like what players should do, I would like for them just to be happy. Again, like emotion's going to spill over sometimes. You've got professionals. Emotions spill over sometimes. Whether you want to believe that or not, it happens, Grump. And that's why you see every single ex-NFLer always supporting the ability for these people to express themselves a little bit. Because they all know.
You're wrong. You're wrong. You're not seeing ex-NFLers saying that they should taunt other players. There's a difference between showing emotion and getting in your opponent's face and doing it. There's a difference. You don't have to get in your opponent's face.
The issue is, and here you go, you see Jeff Schwartz saying this too. I mean, here's, again, the overlying issue, right? It's because it's not actually taunting. Because if I go to somebody and go, incomplete pass, that's not me taunting them. I'm just saying it's an incomplete pass. Well, it's something that defensive backs have done for years and years and years and years and years.
Here's the thing. Jeff doesn't know what he's talking about. He says not a single fan or player wanted this rule. I did. So he's wrong right there. And here's the thing. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of watching these clowns out here taunting the other. Because all they do is disrespect the opponent. Is that what it's about? Maybe we should start that in Little League and Pop Warner football. Go ahead, rub it in the opponent's face. That's cool. That's what they do in the NFL. There shouldn't be a penalty for that. Shake your ass at them after you score. That's what we should do, right? No.
Well, let me
total disagreement with you on this. Okay. I cannot disagree with you more on this.
I want to hear what John Mara has to say about this too. Give me one second.
The taunting emphasis. What were the conversations about that among you guys?
Yeah, I mean that's something we discuss every year in the competition committee. We get kind of sick and tired of the taunting that does go on from time to time on the field. We've tried to balance the sportsmanship with allowing the players to have fun, and there's always a fine line there, but none of us like to see that, and it's just a question of whether you can have rules that can be enforced and without taking the fun out of the game too. But nobody wants to see a player taunting another player. I know I certainly don't, and I think the rest of the members of the competition committee feel the same way too.
Well, there you go. I guess Jeff Schwartz, the guy who owned the team he used to play for, doesn't like it. And here's the thing. Any adult in the room, you're still a child, but any adult in the room, they're like, no. And here's the thing, it doesn't take the fun out of it. And here's the thing, we don't want to take the fun out of the game for the players. Here's the thing, they're not playing for free, they're getting paid. They can have their fun when they go home to their multi-million-dollar houses. That's when they can go have fun and play video games all after, whatever they do.
Here again is the issue I have. This right here, they received a taunting penalty, grumpy old man.
I know.
Here we go. See, let's see this right here. He receives a taunting penalty 32 because he turns around 1 yard before the end zone to look back at Matt Ryan. This received a 15-yard taunting penalty. Why?
Yeah, but here's the whole thing.
Why is that a taunting penalty? This is my point. When you come up with these ridiculous, how the hell
is he saying
happening is a taunting penalty? I'm gonna let you know something, Grumpy. Here's the thing. Let's look at where the ref is. He is unable to hear what he's saying. Look at where he is. He's right over 15 yards away. He's not able to hear what's happening.
He's got good hearing.
There's nothing that's being said. They just didn't like the way he turned around. I just don't get it. That's not a taunting penalty.
Here's the thing.
I thought it was just stuff always gets called as taunting. The really bad stuff gets called. When you start getting in somebody's face and start doing it, that's always been called. This right here being a taunting penalty and stuff like this being a taunting penalty drives me insane because it's not taunting.
I said, I didn't hear what he was saying. That's the whole thing. It's what are they saying?
What do you think he's saying, Grumpy?
Maybe he's talking smack. I don't know, and neither do you.
He's got his mouthpiece in, Grumpy. You could still see he's got his mouthpiece in. What type of smack do you think he's talking? You ever walk with a mouthpiece? That mouthpiece is still in his mouth. He's got one of the mouthpiece that you have all the way around your mouth, Grumpy. You're not able to talk when you have that in. You're not able to talk until you take it out.
Maybe it improves his
talking any smack.
Maybe it improves his speech patterns. I don't know.
I'm going to tell you it doesn't. Put a mouthpiece.
No, you're not a doctor.
Tell him put a mouthpiece in like that, Grump. I'm telling you, there was nothing being said, and the flag was thrown. It's just, I'm sorry, it's just ridiculous.
You know what? I thought that was questionable too, but like I said,
at this point, you see a lot of these questionable taunting penalties that are being thrown left and right. If you want to have a taunting rule, sure, the over-the-top stuff, I don't mind you calling. Stuff like this is not taunting, though. And that's the issue I have. We're enforcing a rule so strictly that we're calling just somebody turning around 1 yard before the end zone and looking at the players that he made a pick six on a taunting penalty. Okay. Again, there was nothing that was said. This guy's 15 yards away when he starts throwing this flag.
Well, he wasn't 15 yards away.
He's 10 yards. He's 10 yards. He's in the back of the end zone. This guy's over here. And if you want to look at, if we're taking the hypotenuse, it's probably more closer to 15 yards because he's not.
No, it's probably less than that because he's not even to the end zone. Probably closer, probably like 4 yards.
Stop. You're ridiculous.
Here's the thing. Do you know what? Grow up. Stop trying to rub it on the other team. Just stop it.
Oh, man. I guess we'll have to agree to disagree on that one, Grumpy, but I will.
I can't believe you spent 35 minutes on damn taunting. I can't believe it.
It's something that people are talking about. It's very, very hot, and it's a very hot topic issue.
I just wish they double flag. Make it a 40-yard penalty. You want to know how you stop it? Make it a 50-yard penalty because then the coaches say you taunted, you're getting fined.
You know what to do? You know what we should do?
You go into the players. You go into the player's pocket and take cash out. That makes him stop.
Thanks. You know what we should do, Grumpy? We should just go ahead and kick that team out of the league. Disband him. If he taunts, he's never allowed to touch the football field again.
Not the team, just the player.
That player should never be able to put cleats on.
Grow up.
Never be able to touch a pigskin.
Grow up. That's why I say grow up. Get your head out of your ass. Grow up. That's coming out of your paycheck this week. You get a taunting penalty.
They already do that. They already do that.
And it should be a team fine, too. You're going to get a taunting penalty. You're going to cost us 15 yards. Every yard is $10,000. You're pathetic. So do it at your own risk.
So, Grumpy, those players that are in league vet minimum, if they have 2 or 3 taunting penalties that year, they don't get paid?
It's never those guys. Those aren't the guys doing the taunting. Those aren't the guys doing the taunting.
How much did the guy who just made that pick six make, number 32, Grumpy?
I don't know. He was a third-round draft pick. He's not a fringy.
I'm going to tell you one thing. He's not making $3, $4, $5 million a year as a third-round draft pick straight as a rookie.
Well, you know what?
He's not making that much, Grump, and he just got a 15-yard penalty for that.
Well, here's the thing. You take $150,000 of his wallet, that'll make him think twice.
Pathetic.
And he's on the team I like. Just to show you that I'm not partial to one guy or another. Don't do it. I don't care what team you play for. If you were my son playing, I'd say the same thing.
You literally just said that you didn't understand how that was a penalty. And now all of a sudden we're changing your team.
I'm just saying, don't draw it. Don't do it. He just could have ran in regular and given the ball to the referee. He could have done that. He could have went and was celebrated with his buddies on the sideline. No problem with that.
He didn't do anything wrong.
He's a criminal. He should be prosecuted on the full extent of the law.
You're pathetic.
Like I said, if that was my son, I said, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, if he turned around a yard before the end zone and got a 15-yard penalty, you'd say, "What's wrong with you?"
It wasn't a yard before the end zone. It was way before that. It was probably at the 5. He turned around. I mean, does he think that he's running a drill where he runs forward and then backwards? He deliberately turned around to look at him.
Oh my God! He turned around. He started looking at
no sympathy.
players. Oh my God!
I believe in zero tolerance for that. Zero tolerance.
So pathetic. I guess you could say I'm all for a happy median. I guess I'm like most people out there who say I'm okay having some of it, nothing crazy and over the line, but I want a happy median. Crazy Grumpy says, no, Stalinist Russia, absolutely no celebration.
You can't give him an inch. You take a mile.
Eli says, as a Jets fan, I'm happy the Giants just threw up all over themselves on the field. But then at 1 p.m. today, it happened. It happened to the Jets.
Zach Wilson had a bad day today. Didn't you really expect that Belichick was going to draw up something? I mean, we talked about it Thursday where he's something like 20-0 or something like that against the first time that he plays a rookie quarterback. You just knew he was going to do something to confuse him schematically, and they certainly did that today. 4 interceptions. It was not a good day. But I want to say this about the Jets. They didn't quit. They didn't quit. What? Why are they? I don't care about taunting videos. Shut that down. That subject is over.
One more.
Move on. No.
That's a taunting penalty, Grump. See, like that. I just don't.
He's getting right in the guy. Of course, what it is? It's a defensive back. Look here. Look what he does. No, right in his face, yelling at him, taunting him. It's a flag him. Bam. There you go. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, honey.
Oh, pathetic.
Let's go, buddy. Shut up. No problem at all. Bam. He should have hit him in the face with the flag. Boom.
Well,
taunting. That's what the officials
hold on.
do.
Do you remember one of the officials hit? I think it was a guy from the Carolina Panthers, an offensive lineman. He hit a Carolina Panther.
It was a Cleveland Brown. It was a Cleveland Brown.
Cleveland Brown. He hit a Cleveland Brown. I think it was an offensive lineman with a flag near him, and he picked it up and threw it down the field, and he got himself.
You know what? That's right. So what do the officials? So the officials go up to the guys and go, penalty on you. Wham! Throw the flag right at his feet. That would be cool, right? That'd be fun for them. We should do that. I think that would be hilarious, don't you? Throw it right at the guy. Wham! Right at his feet. Penalty on you. Holding. Wham! I think that's cool. I think that would entertain me. Right in the guy's face.
Cool.
How do you think the offensive line would react to that? If they slam it right at his feet, or when there's pass interference, you run right up to the guy and go, wham, flag right on him. Pass interference on you.
Only if his eyes are that big, Grumpy, like yours, will it fly by me.
I think that would be great. Let's have the officials taunt the players when they commit a penalty. I think that is perfect. That's perfect. Wham, flag. You run right up to him. Wham, your flag. Oh, false start. Wham, you just cost your team 5 yards. Woo! I think that's a great idea.
We're throwing your ass out of the game. Woo! Look at you. Grumpy old man will be applying.
Wham, flag them.
Eli said NFL ratings are way up. I'm going to definitely tune into Monday Night Football just to watch the Peyton and Eli show because I missed that last week. I'll tell you, Manning Mondays are fantastic. They are cannot miss TV. Must watch.
Yeah, Peyton has always had that. We talked about Thursday, the self-deprecating humor, and I did like the fact that Eli, you could tell they were brothers and going back and forth a little bit early in the show. Not so much at the end. I think Eli was past his bedtime and he had a little milk and cookies. He was ready to go home. But I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Certainly better than the regular telecast.
Mm-hmm.
I like guys. It's like sitting on the couch talking about the game, which is like I do that with TJ sometimes. Wham, flag him.
Bill Brady says, "Hey TJ, how many calls did Brady get again today?"
None.
Know. As many calls as they could possibly give him.
None.
Oh,
none at all.
Man, look at that. Looky there.
5 touchdowns. 5 touchdown passes today. I mean, 44 years old. Pretty incredible. I mean, think about it, seriously. I mean, I know I'm a Tom Brady.
Jesus, here we go again. Got it. 5 touchdowns, Tom Brady. Next topic. Next.
But just think, right? Just think. You look at what he's doing at this age, and it's almost hard to fathom. It really is. I mean, it just even the commentators now are just going, they just shake their heads. It shouldn't be happening. This week, he said he feels like he played till he's 50. I'm like, 50? I could barely walk when I was 50. And he wants to play in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Grumpy had to pay homage to good old Tom Brady. He does one at least once or twice every freaking pod.
Okay. I didn't mention him. It was brought up. Someone brought it up. Who brought it up?
Oh, stop. Anyway, Alexander said, hey guys, how are you? Just tuning in today, a little late. Grumpy Shang-Chi was awesome. I heard that movie was fantastic too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's really like a superhero movie though. It doesn't seem, I know it's a Marvel movie, but I'll be interested to see when it comes on Disney Plus. I will watch it.
You know who should have been thrown, grumpy old man? A 15-yard taunting penalty or unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, grumpy old man.
Shang-Chi?
No. Kenny Galladay Should have been thrown a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, but after the way he was probably talking to Daniel Jones on this one.
Yeah. And do you know what Daniel Jones? He should have went over and said, just shut your mouth and sit down, 19. Yeah. Shut up and sit down. I threw you the ball and you dropped it, clown.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing. I cannot wait. I mean, Sterling Shepard's having a hell of a year, too. He's looking – again, Sterling Shepard, I've always believed, if healthy, the best wide receiver on that team, not even close for second.
Do you want to know why Sterling Shepard gets the ball thrown to him?
Because he's consistent and reliable. Because
he gets open and he catches the freaking ball. That's why he gets the ball thrown to him. It's not some conspiracy against Kenny Golladay. Kenny Golladay he was a good receiver on a really bad team that was chasing results all the time. That's what he was. But he's not a guy who separates. He doesn't get open. He's not ever open. And he makes contested catches. I'm sorry. Kenny Golladay, you suck.
Bill Brady said it's not sportsmanship anymore. It's a business. And Alexander says, I like the taunting penalties. I think it needs to stay.
So I guess, TJ, that I'm not the only one who feels that way.
I'm just saying, Grumpy, I think, again, hey, I'm sure it's dividing. I'm sure some people like the taunting penalty. Some people don't. I want a healthy median. When some people do crazy over-the-top shit, for certain, go ahead and flag them. But when someone goes, incomplete, I don't think that should be a 15-yard penalty. I don't. Whatever. It's going to be debated. We're going to see. I will see if they review that new rule change at the end of the year.
You don't have to get in the opponent's face and do that. You can do it to your buddy on the sideline, no problem. Or when the group comes around, you do your little choreographed dance moves like Dance Moms. Abby, what the heck her name, used to run Dance Moms. She could work with all of them. They could do their little moves and stuff. Woo, woo. They can do that after they make a sack. Mark Gastineau would fit in perfectly with this generation for certain. I mean, but just don't do it at the opponent. I mean, if that's so difficult, can you not know? Can you not remember that? Is that too much for your little minuscule, tiny, CTE-driven football player brains to understand? Just too dumb to get it.
Yeah, pathetic, Grump. Pathetic.
I like that. How would the players feel if the officials did it to them when they had a penalty? How do you think they react to that?
Okay.
They say it's cool?
Stop. Okay. Are you going to stop? You're going to stop and respond?
I think that's what I want the officials to do now.
Okay, good, Grumpy. You could start leading a movement. Lead a movement, okay, Grumpy?
I'm going to lead a movement.
Cool. Frank K said, Giants and Jets are pitiful. Zach Wilson looked like Browning Nagel. Mara and Gettleman need to go bye-bye. Thank God they don't run the Islanders.
Okay, John Mara's not going anywhere. He owns the team. And one of the Tisch boys also owns it. Dave Gettleman, I believe, will be gone. Joe Judge will be gone.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones. And I thought Daniel Jones actually played okay, but he's still Dave Brown Jr. So, I'm sorry. I just can't get that Duke thing out of my head. I just remember Dave Brown being miserable for them so many years ago. I never thought we'd have a Browning Nagel reference on this podcast, Frank, but thank you so much. Browning Nagel played for Louisville back in the day, and I think the Jets picked him over Brett Favre, I believe.
Got another comment here. Alexander saying Orlando Brown got hit with the flag in the face and pushed the ref. I do remember that one too. I feel like it's been a few times where a ref has inadvertently hit a player with a flag, and the player always reacts in a very unsafe.
Why should they? The officials just taunting them. It's cool. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it at all.
Look at you.
I just think the players would react differently if the officials did it to them. There'd be an uproar to stop it. That's what would happen. Oh my God, the officials can't do that. They're supposed to be above all that. No, the players should be held to the same standards.
Okay. You're gonna stop. Here's something I've never understood. Here's something I have never understood, grumpy old man. When a team is getting their ass beat, and I'm talking about they're down by 20, 30 points, when you see a guy make a tackle and he's celebrating after their team is down 20 or 30 points, I've never understood why you would celebrate. Your team is getting their ass beat. It's just like the same exact thing when somebody scores a touchdown and you're down by 30 points and you're in like the tail end of the fourth quarter. You see some people, and that's always, it tells you kind of a little about the character. Nobody should be happy and celebrating as they're scoring a touchdown. I don't care if you score a touchdown. If you're down 30 points, not really much to celebrate about. Those are types of items where I've always been confused with, but the taunting.
You just want to have fun. You just said you don't want to take the fun out of the game. They're enjoying it.
Okay.
They're having fun.
There's
you know
no
what I can't believe?
Stop. There's no reason to have fun when you're losing by 30 points.
You want to know why I can't believe that you're still talking about taunting 50 minutes into the podcast?
Well, cool. I'm trying to move along through the comments, Grump, and you just keep bringing it back up. What a Film said, the Hurricanes were embarrassing with their antics on home ice. If the Islanders did that, I'd hang my head.
Right?
Alexander saying, I lost my voice. I was at the game today. I think he was talking to Garrett. Talking to Jason Garrett. I don't know who the heck knows. Talking about Galladay.
Galladay should just shut his mouth. Just shut your mouth. Now, one thing, I do want to say something to Alexander. Alexander, condolences.
We're gonna talk about that. Why are you rushing? We got one more comment, and then we can start moving into the injury section. Grump.
Okay.
Let me do it. Let me do what I do, Grumpy, and you do what you do, right? What a Film said, Brady is the same age as Chara. Maybe that's a good sign, Grump, for Zdeno Chara.
It's not. I'm sorry. Not everybody is Tom Brady.
Oh, man.
He's a true freak of nature. But what does it tell you? Hard work and dedication, you can do that. And Chara's dedicated too, but it's a different sport. It's a different sport.
Yeah. And you're talking right here, Grumpy Old Man, about Tua Tagovailoa. Got injured today, went off, had to get carted off, he was able to walk off the field and got carted to the locker room. Probably got some broken ribs, but man, oh man, this right here caused them to have a premature exit to today's game, Grumpy.
I mean, it's one hit. I'm sorry that he's frail. But you know what's the most embarrassing? He had to be carted off with a rib injury. You couldn't walk. You couldn't walk that off. The guy snapped his leg in half the other night and wanted to walk off the field. He gets a little side boo-boo and he needs the cart.
We have no idea. You don't know which ribs he broke. Could have broke the top ribs. Apparently, it's hard to breathe. I don't know. Again, I've never had broken ribs. Here's another thing, right? Like we
don't even know if he has broken ribs.
I'm shocked they didn't try to call this a 15-yard penalty there for roughing the passer or excessive tackling. They call because he kind of did hit him a little high there, Grumpy.
No, he didn't hit him high. He hit him underneath the armpit, and he took the hands off, so you can't say he was driving them. Here's the thing: this is what we knew about Tua, though, right? He's frail. He's always hurt. I mean,
I just want you to think about how these defensive players have to react, because you're right. He makes a conscious effort as he's bringing him to the ground. I need to throw my hand out before he gets brought down to let them know that I'm not trying to drive him into the ground.
Well, there you go. He knows what the expectation is, and he follows the rule. It's like I said, that's why you have to teach the children that you're not allowed to taunt. Same thing. Once they learn the rule and they realize what a penalty is, they stop doing it for the most part. I can't believe that he got injured on that play. What does Belichick say the best ability is?
Belichick? I don't know who that is. You mean Belichick?
That's French Bill Belichick. It's Bill Belichick. He says that the best ability is availability. And that's one thing that Tua doesn't have. They're in trouble now. If he's going to miss any extended time, Jacoby Brissett, well, we can see he's not the answer. He put up a whopping 0 points today.
He said he walked to the sideline, then had to be helped. X-rays were negative, Alexander.
So not even broken. Not even broken.
I'll tell you one thing. If you just had bruised ribs and you had to when you do that, I want to punch you through. I want to go wherever the hell you are and punch you right through that freaking screen.
I'm just taunting you. It's fine. That should be cool.
Crump, it's so pathetic. Oh, man. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm sorry. Bruised ribs. Wow. Ooh.
Soft.
I've never seen quarterbacks go out with bruised ribs before. Maybe it happens. Maybe it doesn't. Okay. Maybe I'm branding Tua because of his injury-riddled past. Remember, he had a few of those broken ribs at Alabama back there in that time period. He missed time with broken ribs at Alabama. So
the guy's made of freaking paper mache. I remember Dan Pastorini breaking 3 ribs for Houston. That's where they started wearing the flak jacket, because he had broken ribs and had to play, and he played in a playoff game against the Steel Curtain defense and took a beating that game. He didn't go out. He didn't have to have a cart because he had a little boo-boo on his side. No.
Well, you want to talk about quarterback injuries, how they want to keep quarterbacks healthy. Quarterbacks who got hurt today. Tua got hurt, had to leave the game. Andy Dalton got hurt, was not able to return. Baker Mayfield got hurt. He did return. Tyrod Taylor got hurt. I don't think he returned. And Carson Wentz got hurt and did not return. Isn't that typical Carson Wentz? You talk about another guy who's made a freaking paper mache, a guy who he did have that one season, and again, he leaves with a high ankle sprain. Look at that. The game is 24-24 in the fourth quarter, and a guy gets a high ankle sprain and can't play. I mean, honestly, though, when you see this right here, holy crap. Like, he wants to be out there. You can tell he wants to be out there, but his body just can't do it. His body just cannot stay healthy. His body cannot endure the NFL. It cannot endure it.
I blame Frank Reich and Doug Peterson for his injury problems. They are the ones who started that RPO offense. Remember the run pass option? He took a lot of punishment for a while till he tore his knee up, and he's been injured ever since. I feel bad for the guy. But here's the thing. All the running quarterbacks, every single one of them have shortened careers because it's a physical game. As much as you say, oh, they're taking the physicality out of the game. Well, these guys are getting hit in the open field. They're getting laid out. And you know what? Your body can't take a whole lot of that unless you're Tom Brady.
Dying pathetic. Tom Brady collapses anytime he becomes near him. But look at that.
Maybe that's why he's still winning Super Bowl at 45 years old.
Super subs getting signed there. Cam Newton. Oh man, I'll tell you one thing. Here's this. If the Dolphins were going to make any type of move to say we're interested in Deshaun Watson, again, that depends on Tua Tagovailoa's long-term health. I don't know what the MRI is going to return with. Hopefully everything's clear with that. Again, you don't wish or want anybody to be hurt, but there were a lot of guys that went down with injuries. A lot of big name guys too this week, It wasn't just the quarterbacks, right? You have 4 different quarterbacks, 4 starting quarterbacks go out injured, not able to return. Not only that, Grumpy, big names across the board going out with injuries. TJ Watt for the Steelers got injured, was not able to return. Jarvis Landry for the Browns, he's got an MCL sprain. He's going to probably miss a few weeks. Bradley Chubb, defensive end there for, I believe, the Broncos. He was out there. Brandon Brooks, Brandon Graham, Andy Dalton, Alex Leatherhead, offensive lineman, Danny Amendola, Nico Collins, players across the board, Grumpy old man, injured. And then Deontay Johnson left late in the game, too, for the Steelers.
It's a tough physical game. That's what happens. And you asked me why they have all these rules not to hit the quarterback, because there were a couple of years going way back where they'd lose 6 or 7 quarterbacks a week. And it's like, here's the thing. People don't want to watch the backups. It makes the product bad. People don't want to watch it. This is what the NFL wants. They love having games 34-33, 20-17 last second kick. You're down by a point. You miss a kick at the end, you lose. They love that. Like you said today, you loved watching that Tennessee-Seattle game, right? Let's say Russell Wilson wasn't in the game because he got knocked out. Would you be interested in watching that game? No.
If it's a blowout, probably not.
Yeah. See, that's my point. That's what they don't want to have.
Leads me to believe, do they make some sort of, how much do the officials have an impact to try to keep games close? I've always wondered that too. Sometimes, calls are left, leave me scratching my head. They try to do things to help, an offense that's struggling, gain some momentum. I wonder how often that happens and goes into the mindset.
I think it happens, but not as often as you think. But I do think they sometimes, okay, here's the thing. At the end of the game, if a game's a blowout, you'll see them let things go. They just want the game to end. I've absolutely seen that 100 times. I don't know if they really try to keep teams in games, but I think they have players that they like. And they do certain players do get favoritism, and that's in every sport.
Yeah, like Tom Brady, right?
Yeah, I think Brady gets breaks. I think he certainly does. Peyton Manning did when he was playing. Drew Brees did. All the stars do. Michael Jordan did. I mean, like I said, the stars seem to get
all the stars get the breaks. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if they're nice. If you're a jerk, you don't get that thing.
Alexander says, no, Watson. Greer would probably give up 50 million picks.
I disagree. I'm sorry. I think they need Deshaun Watson. He would make them a real contender.
Depends on the legal issues, right?
Yeah, but I mean, the NFL hasn't done anything about that. As far as they're concerned, it didn't even happen.
Well, the NFL doesn't like that one of their superstar quarterbacks are not playing right now, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, and whether he's, actually did those items and did those things or not. They do not. They want him on the field. I think because he's a quality quarterback, and they like being able to see, hey, people, they like eyes.
Okay, here's where the NFL they're hypocritical. Deshaun Watson, good guy from everything you've ever heard from him. A+ citizen, right? They've just no problem. He can play if he wants. There's no punishment handed out to him. And he had a lot of allegations. Look at Antonio Brown, who's done a whole bunch of heinous stuff, right? Any chance they had, bam. Nope, you're going to get suspended for another 8 weeks. You're going to get this, even though there were nothing actually came of what happened to him. And what about Josh Gordon?
I was about to say, do you mean Josh Gordon? Well, because Antonio Brown, remember, had a lot of those things where he was threatening people, and he was. So I think a lot of that was kind of justified to make him sit out. I mean, like he had a lot of those off the field, like lawsuits and everything like that against him, where he actually, I thought, was fined.
He was fined and suspended, but certainly nothing that he ever did came to the level of the accusations against Deshaun Watson. But I just think, here's the thing: Antonio Brown is not a favorite of the NFL. He's a loudmouth, and they're going to say, you know what? You're not going to get the same cachet that we give Deshaun Watson. Same thing with Josh Gordon, right? Josh Gordon has a substance abuse problem. He's probably always going to have that. They couldn't wait to suspend him every chance they had, okay? I just think Deshaun Watson's a separate case. Why couldn't they just say, like Major League Baseball did, right? Trevor Bauer, you're gone for the rest of the year. They just kept putting off. The NFL has said nothing about disciplining Deshaun Watson. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, that Josh Gordon thing always gets me a little sad and upset about it. I mean, you talk about a guy who's immense amount of talent. And again, a guy who has a legitimate issue, substance abuse issue. Anytime they could find a way to suspend him, they did. So, yeah, grumpy old man. It's
I feel bad for Josh Gordon. I really do.
Yeah. It's definitely something. And then we got Brett W. also saying, my Giants stink again. My Miami Hurricanes stink. The Yankees are choking out of the playoffs, and Lou Lamoriello somehow picks or thinks that
that Parise and Chara makes the team better.
Parise. And thankfully, you guys are keeping me entertained.
That's what we're here for, Brett. That's our pal, Brett. We love it.
Absolutely. Eli says, what do you think Butchie will call Chara? Just Chara, or will he maybe test out Chari or something like that?
You ever notice that all of the players on the Islanders, their nicknames are like, they're like my children, actually. Froggy the Frog. Bailey is Bales. Barzy Barzal. Who's some of the other guys on? I can't even remember.
They always add Wise.
Nelly for Nelson, right? Anything they can add a what? Pelly, Pulley, Dobby. It's like, come on, guys, come up with a good nickname.
Gotcha, Grumpy. Alexander also said Houston wants 3 first-round picks and 3 high-impact players.
That's what they want, but if you offer them something else, here's the thing: they're going to trade him. There's no way he's playing in Houston again.
No, especially the way they've taken it. And again, they even if, let's say, Tyrod Taylor's out for a long time period, they're not putting Deshaun Watson in at all. You saw Matt Ryan threw 2 pick sixes, though, today, right? Man, oh, man. You talk about a guy. You always talk about items that kind of leave you scratching your head. The Atlanta Falcons, why did they draft Kyle Pitts and say, we're just going to continue to roll with Matt Ryan? Matt Ryan is so finished and cashed. I didn't understand why they didn't try to start a little bit of a revamped rebuild and get a new quarterback to where they could learn under Matt Ryan for a year or two and then go ahead and launch him, and you've got an easy transition.
He didn't play poorly today, Matt Ryan. I'm not saying he's the answer there. The picks, he actually had 3 picks. One was a deflection that was intercepted, and 2 of them were everything was deflected. It wasn't straight to a guy. Like Wilson threw a couple today, which is like, oh my God. Or, it wasn't like that. They were all deflected passes that wound up getting intercepted in tight coverage. He wasn't the problem for Atlanta today. That said, they had so much money invested in him. And that's what happens when you give a guy so much cash for so many years. It's like, How do you get rid of him when things go bad? And that's where we're at with him. They could have cut him, and I think it would have cost like $35 million against their cap this year. Can you really afford to do that?
No.
In that kind of dead money? I mean, so that's why they kept him. But you're right.
I have no problem with them keeping them. I just thought that they should have drafted a quarterback too.
Well, don't you think the Giants should have done that as well? Or Miami should have done that as well?
Well, you really impressed the difference between Atlanta is Matt Ryan is on the way out when Tua and Daniel Jones are supposed to be just starting their career. So that's the difference. If you have an older guy like Matt Ryan, what is he, 36, 37 years old? How many more years do you think he's got left in the NFL? 1, maybe 2 years left as an effective player. Absolute best case scenario. It's time to start finding the next guy in line, especially when you have the 4th or 5th or 2nd or 3rd overall pick. When you're up there that high and there's a lot of quarterbacks on the board, you've got to go ahead and pick a guy if you think he can make a difference.
I don't disagree with you there. I'm just saying it doesn't matter the age of the quarterback. If you look at your quarterback room and you say, this guy's not the answer or he's not developing, I'd rather cut bait early because it's worse when you have to cut a veteran. So, I mean, like I said, I've never been impressed by Tua or Daniel Jones. I thought the Giants should have absolutely drafted a quarterback last year. This year's quarterback crop is nowhere near as good as last year's. So now you're going to be chasing after a guy who's not as good, even close to as good as somebody you could have got maybe at 10 or 15 this year that maybe in last year's draft would have been like 30 or 35, and you got to reach for him like they did for Daniel Jones.
Okay. The only 2 quarterbacks that I think you're going to see that might have a chance to move up boards or really spark interest, Sam Howell and Spencer Rattler. I think those are the 2 that are going to spark interest this year. That being said,
Spencer Rattler is not going into the draft. He's not eligible yet.
Okay. I thought it was a junior.
No.
Okay.
It's his 2nd year.
Okay. Gotcha. But I think Sam Howell is going to be the highest on the board there to answer that question. I'll stick with my opinion, Grumpy. They're not going to draft another young quarterback if the young guy in the room they feel like they have any confidence in, right, wrong, or indifferent. That's just how it works. Eli saying, what decade do you think the Jets will win their next Super Bowl? I'm thinking 2130 or 2140, but I want to hear some other opinions.
Let's see. They haven't won one since 1960, so that's a long time. I think Robert Saleh is good for them. I think you've seen no quit in them. They're just not really good right now. I do feel they have the quarterback, but their offensive line is abysmal. Their running backs are horrible. Their wide receivers are meh. And their defense, I mean, they got a long way to go. And the same thing for the Giants. I'm not a Giants fan, but it's like, my God, they're so far away. I looked at the Giants Thursday night, Danny Shelton, Logan Ryan, 2 other guys. They were on Super Bowl teams 5 and 6 years ago. I mean, they're cashed and they're starting for the Giants. It's like, no, sorry.
Gotcha, Grumpy. Moving right along, moving to some soccer news. Satan Child said, hey, did you guys see Islanders players were at the Jets game? I saw Jean-Gabriel Pageau at the Jets game. Yeah, I did see that. I saw a few of the Devils. The Devils were also at the Jets games too. I think it was PK was there, and there were a few NHLers there at the Jets game.
It's easy to get tickets when your team's a loser.
Oh, goodness gracious. But Grumpy, I wanted to show you, switching to some soccer news, and then we've got our favorite fans fighting in the stands section, Grumpy old man.
I do love that.
Who doesn't love that? Well, I wanted to show you this one first here. Now, this, I believe, was at Loughton Town. I just want you to take a look at this. This, by the way, before I show you this was called a yellow card on the field, Grumpy. Just want to know if you agree with the yellow card call on this, or you think maybe this should have been a no call or a red call. I'll let you decide, Grumpy.
Looks like classic NFL taunting there. No problems.
Hold on. Let's see here. Like how they put it in slow-mo for us. Oh, my God. I'm telling you, red card. Here's the thing, too.
That's a red card.
That's a red card, and that's a 5-match suspension.
Well,
I don't care. Even if that's a first, I want a 5 or 10 match suspension. That's disgusting right there. Honestly, I bet when things like that happen, 5, 10, 15 match, I don't care. A whole season, I'm fine with it.
Do you want to know what led to that? Mr. Whitey's shirt was taunting him earlier in the game. And he said, "Screw you, buddy. I'm going to take you out." Look at this.
He was upset, right? What happens here is he's upset that he kicked the ball and they had the free kick and he just kabam!
Boom. That's like cartoon stuff, the way his legs go flying up. Wham! Whoa! What's that? Come on.
Oh man, I was just going to kick the ball. I wasn't oh God almighty.
If you're for the taunting, you're for this too. You have to be. What's the difference? He's just having fun. Look at him. And the other guy's spitting at him.
Yeah, we're saying he's just having fun with this one. Oh man, I do like this angle better. It kind of gives us a little more context, but geez Louise.
Boom.
Okay, here's the thing. Maybe you can argue that was by accident, but it's tough. It's a tough sell.
That was by accident, like Dale Hunter hitting Pierre Turgeon was an accident. You didn't hear the whistle.
only a yellow card distributed for that. Holy crap. Oh man. Alexander said, looks like LeBron when he flops. I don't know about that. It looked like he just had the legs kicked out from underneath him.
He was clumsy. He fell
down the stairs, right, Grumpy?
A couple of times, 3 or 4 times.
Oh man. Well, there is some Cristiano Ronaldo as well as some Lionel Messi news, Grumpy old man. Both players starting to get settled in at their new clubs. Cristiano Ronaldo, Manchester United. Leo Messi at PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, Grumpy old man. So I know you happen to see, first off, I'll cover what happened with Messi. So he was subbed off today. Man, oh man, was Leo unhappy about this. Remember, he always gets branded as the guy of great
Saint Leo.
Saint Leo, right? He's so nice. He's so this, he's so that. So Ponchevetti goes ahead and subs him off. They're playing Olympiacos, right? Olympiacos? Olympia? Yeah. Olympia? I don't remember. Paris Saint-Germain is playing 75th minute, 1-1 right now. It's a draw. And he's subbed off the pitch for Achraf Hakimi. Unhappy, needless to say. When they scored the goal, his reaction, because PSG wound up scoring the goal.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with Leo Messi. Everyone's always painted him as Saint Leo, right?
Right, they're playing
Ronaldo. Oh, he's so selfish. Ronaldo is so selfish, but Leo would never do anything like that. It's because they've been kissing his ass in Barcelona for years. Whatever he wanted, he got. And he never got taken off. And you know what? He doesn't like it. So when he does, he sulks like a child. You don't see it. Now, here's the thing. Ronaldo has been pissed when he's come off the bench, but he always shakes the guy's hand, and he never openly sulks like Leo did. I just found it so refreshing that what I knew all along was Leo was a spoiled prima donna all along, and now you get to see it on the big stage.
This is Leo.
Congrats, Leo.
So just to correct the record, this is Leon. Brett W said, "I don't follow soccer much. Is this kind of stuff a regular thing?"
No. When you get taken off the pitch, you shake the hand of the player who comes in, you shake the hand of the coach, and you sit up there and you don't sulk.
And usually, once your team scores, I mean, you could tell.
Everybody's
looking at him.
Everyone's looking at him.
He calls a huge stick. That's for certain.
That's trouble for PSG. That's trouble for PSG, right?
You always worry about how, again, maybe he's going to say, "Oh, sorry." Maybe manager has to go ahead and apologize for it. But
I never should have taken Leo off. That's my fault that he acted like that. Call him out. He's acting like a spoiled baby, like a prima donna. He gets what he gets. Matter of fact, he's going to sit the next match.
Could you imagine if they sat Messi? Oh man. So there was some Manchester United news. So let's say first off, before we talk about Cristiano's performance here since he's joined Man United, the Red Devils lost to Young Boys, grumpy old man, this week in Champions League. And you'll see here, Jesse Lingard, well, first off, gets subbed on for Messi. We'll go ahead and show this.
Here's Ronaldo when he gets subbed off at the 71st minute, 72nd minute. There you go. Good job. Have a good time.
It's a 1-1 draw, by the way. So similar situation, 1-1 draw, 71st minute. Well, first off, I want to show you. So the guy that he subs on, Jesse Lingard. Well, this is him in the 95th minute of that game. Jesse Lingard.
It's 5th minute stoppage time.
Oh my God. What the hell is he doing?
And they lose. What I don't know what the hell he's doing. Terrible.
I almost gotta put that stop. Like, what in God's name is he it's like he's got mixed up. It's like he's got mixed up or something. I don't even know.
The coach subbed off his two best players, Bruno Fernandes and Cristiano Ronaldo, in the 71st and 75th minute. And they put in two guys who were just incompetent out there and wound up costing them.
Okay, Lingard's not incompetent because I'm going to show you something he did today. He was a savior.
Okay,
of Man United today.
What I'm saying is their play was incompetent on that day. Jesse Lingard is no longer a starter for Manchester United. He is not. He's a benchy.
He wasn't a starter last year for Man United. He went to West Ham, and that's where he blew up onto the scene. What I'm saying, though, to you, grumpy old man, is that, I mean, obviously that was not terrific, and I wanted to show you a little bit of redemption he had today, Jesse Lingard. Because, again, I mean, it was obviously a mental error, a little bit of a mental lapse, grumpy old man. But Lingard, just this same week, right? About was it a 3 or 4 day difference? I want to show you what he did here today. This is in the 90th minute, I believe, as well.
That's the defense need to get up on him. Nice shot. It's a golazo.
Let's give Jesse Lingard some credit there, huh?
Yeah, great shot. Here's the thing: the defense just backed off on him. He had fresh legs because he came in off the bench probably maybe 5-6 minutes earlier. So he had fresh legs, and he does have some wheels. And the defense just backed off. And I mean, I'm not saying that's a can of corn popping, that is, but it's a way easier shot than it should have been if the defense was a little bit had a little bit more wheels left.
I'm going to give Jesse Lingard all the credit on that one. Okay.
No, great shot. But what I'm saying, defense should have got up on him instead of backing away, which enabled him to set that shot up. I'm not criticizing the shot. It was a great shot.
I'm just going to say, excellent job, Jesse Lingard, redeeming himself. I mean, you talk about Cristiano Ronaldo since he's joined up here with Man United. Well, he's got 3 goals,
4 goals in 3 games.
4 goals in 3 appearances. And now, funny thing is, too, you look at Juventus, the team he played for last year, and you look at how they've done and how they've been able to hold up after losing Cristiano Ronaldo. They right now currently sit in the relegation zone with only 2 points through 4 games. They tied Udinese, they lost to Empoli, they lost to Napoli, and they drew against AC Milan today. 4 games into the season, and again, albeit Napoli is usually a pretty tough opponent, and so is AC Milan. But 2 points through 4 games of the season, yikes. You could tell they're going to struggle. Cristiano Ronaldo was holding that team together is what it looks like. Yes.
Now, here's the thing. I'm a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. I think he's the greatest soccer player I've ever seen. He does things that the other players just can't do. I mean, your Pelés, your Maradonas, your Messis, they're all fantastic in their own right, but he does things that they could not do just because of his athleticism and his size. And he's nowhere near the player that he was 3 or 4 years ago with Real Madrid. Not even close. He's just not. But he carried Juventus the last couple of years. Absolutely carried them. Led the Italian league in scoring the 3 years he was there. It wouldn't surprise me if he leads the Premier League in scoring because he's just that good. Juve is going to find out what Real Madrid found out when he left. You can't lose the best player in the world and expect your team to win Champions League like they were.
And again, you want to also talk about the struggles that Juventus has and where they're going to be. Bruno Fernandes has provided more assists to Cristiano Ronaldo than Juventus's whole midfield provided in the last 3 years. Bruno Fernandes does play on the national team with him too, but just to think about a guy who he just joined up on a club level 3 games ago has provided more assists now between national play and a few in 3 games. Than the entire Juventus midfield did in 3 years of all competitions. It's scary.
And that really explains why Juve is not that good this year, because their midfield has been atrocious the last couple of years. Ronaldo was just saving them on individual brilliance. That's why they were still winning league titles and being competitive in Champions League. But you take him out with a miserable midfield, you get what you get.
And then Eli said, no problem for PSG. The entire league is equivalent to Tier 2 in England, which is the exception of 3 teams. They'll be first easily. Talking about Paris Saint-Germain.
I just can't wait till Real Madrid signs Mbappe in January. I'm going to laugh at PSG. He's out hurt right now.
Alexander said, that looks like the same play when Josh Bailey put it into his own net a couple years ago against Washington.
Yep. Same thing.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. So,
that's what happens when you leave a benchy on the ice in the last couple of minutes or on the pitch in the last couple of minutes. Bad things happen.
Oh, goodness. Now, I wanted to show you this in case you're wondering. Again, like we all know, Zdeno Chara, old, right, for the New York Islanders. 44 years old, a defenseman, signed a recent deal going back to where he originally started off his unbelievable career with the New York Islanders, making his return. And it says how old each of the current Islanders were when Chara made his NHL debut. Holy crap. You happen to notice something. The majority of the young players not born yet. Matt Barzal, not born yet. Anthony Beauvillier, not born yet. Oliver Wahlstrom, not born yet. Lou Lamoriello was 55 years old at that time period.
He's like 190 now. I mean, I just want to say one other thing about Ronaldo scoring those goals for Man City, just real quick.
United.
Man, I'm sorry. Yeah, Man
How many
United.
more times are you going to do that, Grumpy?
Every time, because that's where he should have went, honestly, was Man City. For Man United. He scored, 4 goals in 3 games. If his name was Kiefer Bellows, if he didn't score the next game, he'd probably ride the bench for the rest of the year.
Oh, that's a funny one, Grumpy. Oh, that's a funny one indeed. Yeah. Well, we got 2 more topics. We got our fans fighting in the stands. Now, this one's a little different. This one is in enemy territory, Grumpy Old Man. These are actually not fans that are fighting in the stands. And this person says these trailer park fans are clowns fighting in a parking lot at a football game for $0. Now, here is the funny portion, Grumpy Old Man. So I want to show you this, Grumpy. And here it is, a situation where I think we have 2 Cleveland Brown fans. Again, one of the odd situations to where supporters of the same team are going to duke it out and fight each other.
I love the fighting style of Mr. Hat. It's like, he's like, yeah, all right, I'm fighting TJ style. Lead on my face.
Just wait.
My hands down low.
Hold on, Grumpy. Here we go. So he's hanging out with his Brown fans. This is a guy in an Odell Beckham Jr. shirt, I think, or someone like that. So both Brown fans duking it out here today. And again, I'll be honest with you, the Browns, it's a little pregame here. So
look at this. This is embarrassing.
Oh my goodness.
Like 2 bull elephants going at it. Like they used to. Wide. Oh, he falls down. Oh my God. You had this is terrible. Oh, he's getting a couple of shots. This is terrible.
Well, I wonder how much alcohol. Again, what do we always say is involved? There has to be some sort of alcohol. This is one of theirs. It's not a lady who's throwing a beer at somebody and their boyfriend gets beaten up. So this has to be some sort of level of alcohol in the pregame fight. Like, I've always wondered what the hell causes people to fight each other that are supporters of the same team.
I think that there's maybe some history between these 2. Here's what I want you to do, TJ. While we're talking and looking at this, look up those bull elephant seals when they fight one another. It's like a nature thing. And tell me it doesn't remind you of these 2 guys. I wish there was a way to play it side by side, because that's exactly what they look like. It's bad. I'm sorry. It's not pretty. You ever see them like with their big trunks? They go, they throw their heads at one another.
They beat each other to death. I'm pretty sure.
Like they use their heads and just ram them in one another. It's all they got. They got flippers. It's not like they're not flippering each other's faces. They're like, I am done with you. It's nothing like that. They can't get their flippers off the ground. They're just big animals. They go, they bang their heads into the other.
I'll be honest with you, they're ugly creatures too, just like
there you go. These are the Cleveland Browns. All you need is put the Browns jerseys on them. This is it right here, isn't it? Even here's the thing. Even the seagulls are bored by watching them. What do they want? They want the little chickadee right there. That's what it's all about.
Oh yeah, so they're over here fighting it out.
Ooh.
I'll get back to the fans fighting in the stands, grumpy old man.
Okay.
But elephant seals. Oh goodness gracious, grumpy. But you see this, and this is one of these where it expands, right? Because this is a 2-minute long fight video.
Oh my
Here
God.
we go. We got him punching.
He's coming back.
Well, here we go. We have our voice of reason. We have our Mother Teresa. In every single fight, there's always one. When things start. What?
There was a girl over there who was wanting them to stop also just before.
So here we've got our Mother Teresa, this gentleman over here with the hat who wants to stop the fight. Good off to you. I'm glad we're trying to stop it here. But as you can tell, it doesn't just stop, grumpy old man, 30 seconds into this fight. But we got them trying to stop. I'm going to just let you watch this as they're trying to say, back off, calm down. Just look at this grumpy old man. He's still
now he gets to fight with the other guy.
Tougher. Now this guy gets even tougher now that he's got people in front of him. But you can tell this is the guy who probably was causing all the issues because he's now fighting another enemy, the peacekeepers, the Mother Teresas. I just want you to keep watching. Hold on a second. Look at
There's the hero of our story. Billy Buzzcut. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm blown out.
What the hell is he smoking there?
What do you think he's smoking marijuana? What do you think he's smoking?
Yeah, so look at this. Dude.
Look at him. Look at his eyes. They're like slits. He didn't even remember the game. You want to know something? You want to know how he got those beads? He had to show his belly. He lift the shirt up.
Anyway, continuing on. World Star. Oh, he doesn't love it. So now he's saying now. Okay, so now this guy, now these other guys, now his other friends over here have gotten into this as well. I don't know how it happened, but the peacekeepers have now been thrown into the fight. The people who wanted to break up the nonsense in the fighting have now been mixed up, and now this guy wants to go ahead and start a fight as well.
Can I just say one thing? I just find it interesting that all these guys go in there with their chest puffed and their arms down. You're just saying, "Hit me in the face," aren't you? I'm sorry. Hey, look at me. I'm a bull elephant.
Oh, and now this guy starts joining and punching him as well.
Oh boy, this is ridiculous.
Jeez. Here's the thing.
Only at Browns games. Watch out. Now they're all. Oh, this guy don't know how to punch. Everything's like wide.
And they're destroying the fan here. One of the people I feel the worst for. Okay, obviously I feel bad for the peacekeepers, the individual with the hat on who joins in. He's like, let's stop this fight. And this maniac over here who started the fight originally is now saying, we're going to help fight these guys who wanted to keep everything peaceful. Now, here we go. We have the fans who are like, I don't want anything to do with this fight. I'm just here to eat. I'm here to have a good time, to go to the game. You can see bitch, I'm blank on the bottom of her t-shirt.
Fat. Just say fat.
No, but they're just
is she scrapping?
No. She's not scrapping. Like, we need to get the hell out of the way. These maniacs are destroying everything. Let's move out of here. And they destroy whatever type of cooking utensil they had on there, start destroying the nice picnic and pregame festivities they had. And these individuals who were just enjoying themselves, this lady over here is like, oh man, this is where I feel comfortable. The good old Cleveland Browns tailgate section. We've seen this a time or two before. You can tell this lady right here, it's her first time at a Browns tailgate.
She's like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this guy fighting over the tables. It's like the Spanish announce table at WWF. Oh my God! Look at this. Come on, look at an old. Come on, leave guys alone, please. Stop it. All right. Oh my God.
But this guy was originally part of the peacekeeping tour over here who wanted to stop it. And these guys, these four individuals who originally picked on a fight with the guy who was wearing the sweatshirt, the black sweatshirt. And then he picked a fight with the guy in the hat. These guys need to get the bells rung, Grumpy.
Okay. Do you want to see where TJ is in this video? Keep rolling it. I'm sure at the end, we're going to see somebody.
If someone came and punched this guy as he was disoriented, is that what you're going to tell me I'd be?
No. Everything will be over, and then he'll come in and say, I've saved the day. There he is. He's right there, number 95. The whole thing's over. Okay.
No,
right there in the middle.
The book bag, right?
Mr. Bag. He all right, everybody, it's okay. TJ's here. I've stopped the fight. After everyone is mangled, the ambulance is here. Look at them. That's you right there. That's you right there. We're in
I don't know what the hell these guys are chanting over here, but they're going crazy.
They're going TJ. Wearing your Baker Mayfield jersey, your favorite player.
Oh my God. Look at this. Now their table's destroyed. The food they had set up is destroyed.
Where are the Dudley boys? Where are the Dudley boys to put somebody through a table?
This is not Bill's Mafia over here, grumpy old man.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'll tell you. Oh, I feel bad.
Cuz that's probably his name, number 50. Cuz.
Oh man. Oh, goodness gracious, grumpy. The Cleveland Browns. Oh, does that shock you at all at the Browns game?
No, it doesn't. They're always fun. I mean, come on. Tell me it's not fun to look. It's fun to watch.
As long as nobody gets severely injured, yeah, I enjoy watching them. They're like a guilty pleasure thing. It's like trash TV.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see them run like a little epilogue. Just say they show the picture of the guy. Oh, now he's doing this and this and this and this. This guy here spending time in jail for annihilating Cuz or whatever. They just
this guy right here instigating and picking fight with the peacekeepers. Now serving a 30-day stay at the state pen.
Let's just say what they're doing now. He's serving hamburgers at Burger King or something like that. Where are they now? Some segment like that. I think it'd be fun.
Eli says Manchester United has 13 goals in 5 games first, and then 79 shots in fourth. Paul Pogba leads the league in assists, 7. Ronaldo has 3 goals in 2 games, tied for second. Ronaldo is a huge difference maker. And also Eli says belts should have been required to be worn while fighting. I've seen enough butt cracks in these videos.
I just think, and here's the thing. I'm not a professional fighter like TJ or his nemesis Ronda Rousey, okay? But, TJ, he would be like that guy, just a wild swinging punches. I mean, I was always – the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. None of these big looping roundhouse rights, lefts. I mean, you're just – I mean, bam, bam. I don't know. First of all, I would not be involved in that stuff, to be honest with you. TJ would, but not me.
Oh, is that what it is, Grumpy? Would a film said, these fight videos are great. You guys are hilarious. The guy smoking the joint wasn't fighting, LOL. No.
He was great. Now, he was just like, wow. Wow, man. This is so cool.
Brett W. said, hey, do you guys have any prediction for Tyson Fury and Devontae Wilder rematch?
I'm going to go with Fury. Wilder just disappeared the last not impressed with him. Here's the thing. Neither one of these guys would ever beat a good fighter. That much I can tell you. It just shows boxing is dead.
I do not like Tyson. I do not like Fury either. I do not like Tyson Fury at all.
Isn't he a gypsy?
I don't even know what the hell he is. I don't like him.
I think he's a gypsy. Why not? He taunts his opponents. You should love him.
Have you ever listened to the way he talks in this? Here's the thing, right? It's weird. I don't like Tyson Fury, but I like Conor McGregor. I couldn't tell you why.
I hate Conor McGregor.
I think they're pretty much the same exact cut of bread, but I think McGregor does it with a little, I don't know. I just find him more appealing. I do not like Tyson Fury.
The best thing I like about Conor McGregor is him getting his legs snapped the last time he fought Poirier. I love that. Shut your mouth. Shut it up, boy. Get right in your face. How's that, Conor McGregor? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to your left toe. Let me talk to your knee. That's over there. Oh, there's your ankle. That's cool. Wham! I throw a flag at him. Broken leg. 15 yards. You're done. Woo! That would have made me laugh.
Now,
do the old DX crotch chop. Bam, bam, yeah.
Well, last topic of the day. TCU coach Gary Patterson says that his team is at risk of losing players to SEC schools. They're attempting to lure athletes with compensation. He has said that players have been receiving calls from SEC schools regarding if they enter the transfer portal and come to enter SEC school name here, that there's 5 SEC schools calling him and telling him that they will give players compensation if you come there and not to stay at TCU.
Is that a surprise to you? It's not to me. They've relaxed all the rules where you have to sit a year out now. You can automatically transfer to another school. So what do you think? You're going to see chaos. And whoever pays the most is going to get the best players. And now it's all free. Now it's all legal. There are no rules anymore. It's the Wild West, right? Didn't we say it was going to be the Wild West until they put some type of rules into effect? The rich get richer. Everybody else gets poorer. That's what's going to happen.
Yep. You're going to see all the best talent go to where they can get paid the most. And you're going to see the disparity in talent levels continue to widen.
You're going to see some of these kids in college before they even play getting paid more than professionals who are actually doing it.
Now, yeah, I don't disagree. It's one of those things. It's a slippery road, and then we've been talking about it. It's only been a matter of time before we need somebody to step in and do something to make sure it's a little more regulated, because you're just going to see the fun and the entertainment value drop, because it's going to be the same thing. Same teams every year are going to continue to be at the pinnacle, and all the other teams have no chance.
I never like to mention to you when you say a phrase incorrectly, but it's not a slippery road. It's a slippery slope is what it is.
Brett W said a Fury is an Irish gypsy. Yes. Now, what is a gypsy? I don't even know what a gypsy is. They live in, they like travel a lot, don't they? They're like nomadic. I don't know.
Yes, kind of nomadic.
Okay. Well, I assume he's
I have no problem.
I assume he's no longer a nomad. I'm sure he's got a mansion or something like that. But
I don't know. Maybe he still lives in one of those little trailer houses. I don't know what they do. Little homes on wheels.
I've seen some of the stuff he's done. And Conor McGregor, I look at some of the actions he's done as of late. It's tough to root for him. He just seems a little more crazy. When he was winning fights and he seemed a little bit more, hey, I'm only doing this. I'm a little bit more limited. I mean, like, he was trying to pick a fight with Machine Gun Kelly, MGK. He's a rapper. He was trying to pick a fight with him, saying, "Oh, Megan Fox is him. She's in my D." Who the hell knows? I'm just like Conor McGregor. I liked him, when he first started, probably about 3-4 years ago, and now I'm just like, man, oh man, he just needs to chill out. He needs to relax a little bit, because you're right. He's overstayed his welcome, in my opinion.
What does this have to do with Tyson Fury?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I just always wonder if there was a way to dislike Tyson Fury but like Conor McGregor, because they're essentially the same thing. I
don't think they're the same thing. I don't hear Tyson Fury making commercials and just ripping other people. I don't hear him doing that. The other guy's a loudmouth. I said,
I want you to listen to his actual interviews then, Grump, because you haven't. They're pretty much the same exact person, except different weight classes, different sports too, a little bit.
Okay.
So, yeah, Grumpy. Well, we're here at the end of the podcast here today. 1 hour, 30 minutes in. Grump, what do you have to say to the listeners at home? Is there anything you'd like to say before we wrap things up today? Anything you want to cover?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing about what Eli's comment about Manchester United. They do look like they have some offensive firepower. Their midfield is abysmal, and their defense is not much better. And hey, even though he made a nice save on a penalty in the last minute on a questionable penalty call, particularly after Ronaldo got dragged down in the box not 30 seconds earlier, they're not real good on the back end. They're just not. Harry Maguire sucks out loud.
He did a great job of stopping a goal Ronaldo was putting in the net today.
Yeah, Luke Shaw's another. I'm sorry, just not very good. The midfield is just blah. They're holding midfielders. They're not going anywhere. I still stand my prediction. Maybe the quarterfinals in Champions League and top 4 in Premier League. That's it. That's all you can expect from them. And their coach is a clown. He's a clown.
What's his name? The clown.
Ole
Gunnar Solskjaer.
Yeah, whatever. He sucks. Suck a Solskjaer. If he was right now, I'd say, "You suck a Solskjaer." That'd be taunting. And if they gave me 15, I deserve it.
Goodness gracious. Well, thank you, Grumpy Old Man, for being a part of the podcast, as always. And thank you, everybody who tuned in and listened to the podcast. Grumpy Old Man and myself love when we're able to interact and feed off everybody and kind of answer and respond back to those comments. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Thank you again, Grumpy Old Man. We'll be back at it again this next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And then we're going to have a little week where you're going to be away, correct?
That's correct. We're going to have Thursday, and then we will not have one next Sunday or the Thursday after. But we're going to talk about that next podcast, Grumpy.
Okay.
And thank you so much, guys. Make sure, again, because we'll be going live this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to make sure you don't miss out on any of the action. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, and follow on Twitter. Thanks so much again, Grumpy Old Man. And we're going to be seeing you next Thursday.
And thank you, love and laughter to everyone who listens and even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
Grump, you almost screwed up your little catchphrase at the end.
Well, because you were rushing me.
I was rushing you?
You're getting ready to cut me off before I got to say my thing.
Oh.
Not shocked.
Oh, Grumpy. Let me just go ahead and taunt you. You're not able to say it at the end, Grumpy.